Welcome to the season finale of The Love Cursed by Murder. If you're watching this for the first time, check out previous episodes to better understand the story, and don't forget to subscribe. The story begins. So Samuel decided he will kill all of them, Zoe, her mother, her husband, and her son, and the hunt began. Samuel sat in a dimly lit room. He had waited long enough. Revenge was all that kept him going. He had spent 7 years in a prison cell because of Zoe, and now she was living a happy life while he rotted in misery. He would make sure she paid for it. He picked up his phone and dialed a number. A deep voice answered. "It's time," Samuel said. "Go to the house. Destroy everything. Leave no trace." The men he hired were ruthless. They stormed into Zoe's home, smashing furniture, tearing apart clothes, and breaking every fragile item in sight. They overturned the dining table, shattered the television, and left menacing messages on the walls in red paint. You can't escape the past. But Samuel's satisfaction was short-lived. The next morning, he received a call from one of his men. "Boss, they weren't home." Samuel's grip on the phone tightened. "What do you mean?" "They must have left before we got there. The place was empty." Zoe and her family had gone on a family getaway? He asked angrily. His carefully planned message of terror had failed to reach them directly. But he wasn't finished yet. When Zoe and Kevin returned with their son, Baraka, they were met with destruction. Their home was unrecognizable. Amina shouted, clutching her chest, while Kevin stood frozen in shock. Zoe stepped forward, her heart pounding. She didn't need to guess who had done this. She knew. "This is Samuel," she whispered. Kevin turned to her. "What did you say?" She hesitated. "I don't know for sure, but we need to report this." The police arrived, surveying the damage. They took notes, snapped pictures, and promised an investigation. But Cindy knew the law wouldn't stop Samuel. He wouldn't rest until he had what he wanted. And deep down, she feared this was only the beginning. Samuel was furious. His first attack had failed, but he would not be stopped. He had spent years plotting his revenge, and he would not stop until Zoe paid for what she had done. This time, he would make sure there was no escape. He called his men again. "This time, we do it differently. I want them taken out while they least expect it." His plan was simple, an ambush. He had studied Zoe's routine. He knew her family went to church every Sunday morning. That would be the perfect time to strike. The morning was bright and peaceful. Zoe and Kevin were in the car, with Baraka strapped in the back seat. Amina sat beside him. They were on their way to church, unaware that danger lurked just around the corner. As they drove down an empty road, a black SUV suddenly sped up behind them. Kevin glanced in the mirror, frowning. "That car has been following us for a while." Zoe turned to look and something felt wrong. "Maybe it's just a coincidence," she said, trying to convince herself. Then, the worst happened. The black SUV turned to the side, pulling up beside them. The windows rolled down, and masked men pointed rifles at them. Kevin's eyes widened. "Get down," he shouted, turning the car to avoid the gunfire. Bullets shattered the windows. Glass flew everywhere. Zoe shielded Baraka with her body as Amina screamed. Kevin struggled to control the car, but another bullet hit the tire. The vehicle spun out of control, flipping twice before crashing into a ditch. Smoke rose from the wreckage. The attackers watched for a moment, then sped away, leaving them for dead. Pain. That was the first thing Zoe felt when she opened her eyes. Her vision was blurry, and her body ached. She turned her head and saw Kevin, blood dripping from his forehead. Amina was unconscious, while Baraka whimpered softly in the back seat. "We need help," Kevin groaned, trying to move. Zoe reached for her phone with trembling hands. She dialed the emergency number. "Please, we've been attacked. We need an ambulance." The world spun around her as sirens filled the air. Zoe woke up in a hospital bed, her head wrapped in bandages. Pain shot through her body as she tried to sit up. Kevin lay in a bed next to her, his head turned away, his expression unreadable. Amina was awake, sitting by Baraka's crib, stroking his tiny hand. Zoe knew it was time to tell the truth. "Kevin," she said weakly. He turned to her. "Who did this, Zoe?" Tears welled in her eyes. Samuel. Kevin's jaw clenched. I knew it. He shook his head. And you knew too, didn't you? You knew he was coming after us, and you didn't tell me. I was scared, Z admitted. I thought I could handle it. I didn't want to drag you into this. Kevin stood abruptly. You didn't want to drag me into this? Zooey, we almost died. Baraka almost died. You should have told me the moment you suspected him. Zay's tears spilled over. I'm sorry. Kevin took a deep breath, trying to calm himself. Sorry won't change what happened. He turned to the window, staring outside. I won't let him get away with this. Zoe's heart pounded. Kevin, no. He faced her, his eyes dark with determination. If the police won't stop him, I will. Amina stood up. Kevin, listen to me, she said, with a firm voice. Revenge will only lead to more bloodshed. We need to end this fight. But Kevin shook his head. I won't sit back and wait for him to come after us again. Please, let's find another way, Z cried. Amina stepped forward. There is only one way to stop this. We need to bring both families together. We need to end this conflict before more lives are lost. Kevin's lips pressed into a thin line, but he said nothing. Z knew this wasn't over. Not yet. Amina took matters into her own hands. She arranged a meeting between the two families, inviting Samuel's relatives to sit down and discuss a resolution. The tension in the room was thick as Samuel, his mother, and his older brother faced Zoe, Kevin, and Amina. Samuel, with an angry face, made his demand. I wasted 7 years in prison for her. I want compensation. $30,000. Kevin Jirek. I won't pay a cent. But Amina, seeing the only way to bring peace, nodded. I will pay. The money was exchanged. Samuel, though bitter, accepted the deal. Over time, the families slowly healed. Samuel moved away, and Ziri and Kevin were finally able to live in peace. The past no longer controlled them, and at last, they were free. Thanks for watching till the end. We would love to hear from you about our stories to help us improve. And if you've enjoyed the video, give it a like so the algorithm can recommend it to more people, and also subscribe. Until then, we'll see you in our next video.